Brown, you say the only thing that matters to you today is the future of your one-year-old daughter, Sanaya.
Yes, Your Honor.
You state you're here to prove the defendant, Mr. Rutledge, is her biological father because she needs two parents, yet he's seen her only once in her life.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rutledge, you say despite Ms. Brown's denial, there are indeed other men that could be her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your sister, Ms. Rutledge, is also involved in this case, and we'll hear more from her shortly. So, Ms. Brown, why are you so sure Mr. Rutledge is your daughter's father?
Yes, Your Honor. Me and Mr. Rutledge, we had sexual relations and things like that. And my doctor told me that I conceived May 25th, which was Memorial Day, which I was over there at his mother's house. She left to go to a cookout and everything. And me and him, had sexual relationships on that day. I did not have sex with anyone else on that day. Did not have sex with anyone else around that time. Now, yes, before me and Mr. Rutledge got serious, I did, I had relations with other people, but never around the time that I conceived or never around the time that I got pregnant. So, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Mr. Rutledge, she gave a pretty clear account of her version of the story. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Please tell me what your side of the story is.
Well, first of all, me and Ms. Brown was never in a relationship. It was only sexual relationship. I met Ms. Brown she was seeing my cousin. They was dating for a while. After they broke up, they split up, whatever. She got with my other cousin, had a one night stand with him. The product from him got with my brother. Now let me tell you this: when she got with my brother, she ran the same story on my brother and told my brother that she was pregnant by him. She tells my brother that, "Oh, I need you to give me money for a morning after pill."
Ms. Brown, you left these facts out.
Yes, I left them out, Your Honor, because they're not facts. First of all,
okay,
you don't have to pay for a morning after pill because everyone knows that a morning after pill is free whether you have insurance or not. So I never would say, can you pay for a morning after pill? As far as me having one night stands and all that with his cousins, if he felt that I had one night stands with his cousin or his brother, why would you turn around and have unprotected sex with me? I never was that type of person. He knew who I was, he knew how I was, he knew everything before, before we started even messing with each other because we had mutual friends, we were around each other. He had a chance to get to know me and everything, and as you can see, he still decided to have contact with me, so obviously I couldn't have been that much of a bad person that he's saying right now. And he claims that we were just friends and it was never that serious, it was just sexual relations. If it was just sexual relationships, why were your clothes at my house?
What?
He was always at my house until he went missing for like 4 days, and I didn't know where he was at because usually he would at least text me or call me even if he didn't come over, and like out of nowhere, like for 4 days straight, I didn't hear from him or anything, and he came back out of nowhere, new sneakers, dressed and everything. Now, mind you, in the midst of everything, I went on Facebook and seen pictures of him and his daughter's mother together. So I'm like, okay, so this is where he's at. I'm all upset and everything, so I couldn't wait till he came so I can, talk junk to him about what was going on. And when he came in the house thinking everything was okay, I'm like, no, you was just, with your child's mother. You were gone, where were you? And he got mad because I was questioning him, and that's when, the drama started, and he like, oh, you're not my girlfriend. And that's when I found out. From my knowledge, I'm 22 years old. He's about to be 31 in September. I didn't know. He could have made that quite clear, that we weren't in a relationship. I didn't know. I only knew what I was being led to believe. If someone's coming over your house every day, sleeping with you, or, coming over, calling you, texting you, and leading you to believe you're their girlfriend, of course you're going to think that I'm a woman. Why would I not?
So, Mr. Rutledge, you've now heard that part of the story. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
How did I guess? So, in your estimation, this was just a casual sexual relationship.
And that's all it was. That's all she good for.
Your Honor,
let's be respectful, Mr. Rutledge.
Okay,
Your Honor, can I just say this? He said that that's all I'm good for, but I must have been good for a lot because he used to ride his 9-year-old daughter Peking Gray bikes to my house all the time with his 30-year-old self. I have no reason to sit there and have to lie, or I'm not going to come here and lie or anything like it. I know what I used to be, and I have changed a lot. And also in the same breath, like I said, I'm 22 years old.
When you say I know what I used to be, what do you mean?
Yes, back when I was like, younger, I did, used to be wild. I mean, like partying, drinking, drinking, hanging out, stuff like that. And, you know, I've been through a lot of my life, and it was to the point where I wasn't really feeling like I was loved. So I would say I would look for love in different places. It may not have been the right way that I was doing it, but I did, and I can admit to that. But that was in the past.
And I'm happy you got yourself together. But I need to ask you, when you were looking for love in all the wrong places, and you were maybe being a little more sexually promiscuous than you are now,
right?
Was this at all during the window of conception?
No.
So that he could maybe be doubtful about the paternity?
No. I'm not saying that, oh, he should just be so sure. I'm not saying that at all. But I know for a fact that around the time that I conceived, I didn't have sex with no one else.
So when you found out you were pregnant, you told Mr. Rutledge?
I told his sister first, Mrs. Rutledge.
So you told his sister first?
Yes.
How did that conversation go?
I just told her I was pregnant. She kind of was in shock and stuff, and she just let me know, like, you do know, like, if you decide to keep this baby, it's a chance that you're going to go through it by yourself, because he does have multiple children. But when I told her that I was pregnant, after I told her, I called Mr. Rutledge. I called him and let him know, like, yes, I'm pregnant. I told him actually to come to the house first. I'm like, we need to talk. He like, talk about what? So I'm like, I'd rather you come here and talk to you in person. He like, no, what is it? So I told him, like, I'm pregnant. So he kind of got quiet for a little bit. He like, you pregnant? He like, so what you gonna do? Then he like, never mind, I'll be over there. Which like probably like 30 minutes to an hour later, he came over there on his daughter's pink and gray bike and wanted to know, what was going on. So about the pregnancy. So, he didn't believe me at first. So I had to show him the paper. I showed him the paper and everything. Like, see, I'm pregnant. And basically, he was just like, he already got kids. He don't know what I'm going to do. He really kind of leaned towards me getting an abortion. He wanted me to get an abortion. But he was like, but if she's mine. He always kept saying, like, if she's mine. So he's like, but if she's mine, I will take care of her.
So, Mr. Rutledge, when you heard from Ms. Brown, what did she say to you?
Like she said, I went over to her house and everything, and we talked about her or whatever, and I told her that I wanted a DNA test.
And that was because you were doubtful from the start?
From the beginning.
So, at that point, what real proof did you have to be doubtful?
I used to pick Jasmine up, Miss Brown, from dude's house. She be around me texting dudes. This is my friend, this is my homeboy, we just cool, this and this and that. And first of all, it was never about the baby. It was all about she wanted to be with me. She don't care whether the baby mine or not.
So, when you gave birth to Sanaya, did Mr. Rutledge, did he show up to the hospital?
No, his sister, Mrs. Rutledge, was there when I had the baby. She was there like every day while I was in the hospital. She was there. She sent her mother pictures, and I guess she sent Mr. Rutledge pictures, and he called, and he told her that he hopes my baby die, and that he don't want my baby around other children. And that's something that came out of her mouth. Now she want to stand here and try to act like she's the best sister in the world. But everything that I know that he said about me, mostly she told me. Just that he said he didn't want my daughter around his other kids, that came out her mouth.
Okay.
No.
And breathe, Miss Brown. Just breathe. Is this true? I have to ask you, Mr. Rutledge.
I'm going to tell you.
Please don't tell this court you said something that vile.
I would never say that. I have kids of my own. She said, I hope the baby dies. I'm not going to tell you what she told me about my kids. She came to my mom's house, said she's going to leave her daughter on the doorstep of my mom. I said, don't do that because I'm not there, no one's there. She said, I don't care, man. I'm coming there. She took a picture of the door and sent it to my phone.
Your Honor, for the phone.
Your Honor, with the baby, she was going to drop the baby off.
Your Honor, actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I did not. The day that I took the picture of his door was not the day that I so-called told him something like that. I took a picture. I came to his house because me and him had got into it on the phone. He telling me, oh, she don't look nothing like me. That's not my daughter. And yes, I was enraged. I was very upset. If somebody tell you they hope your child die and stuff, you're going to lose all respect that you have for them.
I don't care what the problem, what the rage, what the issue is. I don't know how the two of you can be having conversations that contain statements like, I hope your baby dies and I'm going to run some kids over with a car. That's just disgusting. So, Ms. Brown, as I listen to you, your concern is not just what transpired during this time, but also the fact that now that your child is here, and he knows it's a possibility he could be the child's father, your concern is he hasn't come around.
I don't expect, yes, Your Honor, I don't expect him, he doesn't have to go through me to see her.
I was the one who told her she had no business dealing with him, being that he already had 5 kids, 4 different baby mothers. She already knew that. I'm the one who told her that.
But Your Honor,
I'm the one who told her to stay away from my brother, but she kept on communicating with him. So when she took it upon herself, she's a grown woman. I'm not going to keep telling you anymore.
I understand your statement. I'd like to hear from your witness, Ms. Brown. Please stand, ma'am. And state your name for the court.
LaKanya Brown.
Ms. Brown, what do you understand about this situation?
Some stuff that she's saying not true, and a lot of stuff that they saying not true. That's my niece, and I love her, but what's real is real. And at the end of the day, I feel like if you know it's a possibility that this is your baby, then why not? And yes, when my niece was running the streets and partying and doing what she did abandon her kids.
She's pregnant now.
And she left her
That's
kids.
not none of your business to have a baby, so you can stop worrying about
She's
mine.
pregnant now,
And
but she's not wild.
So what? But why
Let's get some order.
You worry about the wrong things. Get some business so you can stay out of mine.
Let's get some order.
But I was taking care of your business.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was. You and your
No, you
children.
wasn't. You never was.
Let the judge speak. Let her talk.
I
Continue,
apologize,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Brown.
I did call Child Protective Services on my niece, and it was because she had left her children at my mom's house with me and my mother. But it was not a removal situation. It was a situation for her to woman up. Like, these are your children, and you need to take responsibility for your children. And at the end of the day, Shawanda was involved. I called Miss Rutledge to come over so we could talk with the CPS worker to try to find out what we were going to do as far as Sanaya is concerned. And gave Mr. Rutledge the opportunity to take a DNA test in our hometown.
Ms. Brown, you said in your testimony just a second ago that you offered to have the defendant, Mr. Rutledge, take a DNA test in your home state.
Yes, I told his sister, I went down to our courthouse, I got the paperwork, and she said, well, I don't know if he's going to go take it. And he never showed up to take the test.
He never showed up. Why, Mr. Rutledge? Why not take the test?
She never showed up.
It was two times that he was supposed. It was just recently, Your Honor. It was just, she just had to go to court again for him, and he didn't show up.
Ma'am, the first one he was notified because I actually met with her aunt. She gave me the paperwork. She told me that they were filing for paternity. I told her that I would go ahead and relay it to him, which I did. When the day of the court came, neither one of them showed.
The first one, Jasmine showed up. The second one, neither one of them showed up.
Let's make something clear, because it's not a lot of talking, but I just don't
lot
feel
of
like
drama
we're getting
with these
anywhere.
people.
It's a lot of drama with
You know,
these people.
Jerome, it's like we're running into a brick wall over and over again, and I just keep thinking about Sanaya saying to myself, if I'm this frustrated, what kind of nonsense is this baby living in? Miss Rutledge, do you really believe he's her child's father?
I believe there's a possibility. Do I believe 100%? No, because like I said, she was in and out of my home as well. She was there at my home as well. And I physically witnessed her talking to other men.
So
I can't say for sure that 100%. But the reason why I was involved, because I felt obligated. My brother did have sex with her. So there is a possibility that Sanaya might be his daughter.
And so, Mr. Rutledge, are you hoping Sanaya is your daughter? Because I'm not reading any emotion or commitment or anything from you as it relates to this child.
It's just the character. It's just the character of her. Like, I would be happy if she is mine, but at the same time, I would be sad because the mother that she has to grow up with. You understand what I'm saying? Because she's been through a lot.
I just don't understand, though, because when you lay down with somebody with no protection,
right,
on more than one occasion,
right,
are you allowed to get up later and talk about their character?
right.
After you potentially made a child with them? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. You have a choice. So let's get to the results, because I think that's the only way we're going to be able to move forward, is to have the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Case of Brown versus Rutledge and Rutledge. When it comes to 1-year-old Sanaya Rutledge Brown, Mr. Rutledge, it has been determined by this court that you are her father.
What? Now what? What y'all gotta say now? What do y'all gotta say now? Exactly. I thought that's what y'all had to say.
I apologize. I just want to know for sure, Jazz. That's it. Man.
But now you know, but you missed 16 months though.
You're right.
You been going through how you want to make that up. Though. I don't care how you feel about me. You go through my aunt if you don't want to go through.
I can make that up.
I'm glad to hear you say
I can make that up.
And it was nice to hear you apologize.
Can I see her again?
Would you love to see your
I
daughter?
would love to see her. Is there any way we can go to counseling and work this out?
Absolutely. want to hear from a young man that knows he has a child with a woman that he needs to just work some things through with. The little girl, this beautiful little girl, Sanaya, is what's important. Take that with you, be the father I know you can be, and allow him that opportunity for your daughter's sake.
So
okay? I wish you the best of luck. Court is adjourned.